We are going to talk about the gastrointestinal system. So let's start with the mouth because that's where the food enters the body. A normal adult has 32 teeth. The hard palate is a thin horizontal bony plate of the skull located in the roof of the mouth. The soft palate is soft tissue constituting the back of the roof of the mouth. It does not contain bone. The uvula has two major functions. It excretes saliva and provides proper lubrication for human speech. This is the palatine tonsil, which is lymphoid tissue located at the pharynx. Now, as far as the teeth goes, this is on both. You have this on both sides, so we're just going to talk about the left side right now. You have 3 molars and 2 premolars. This right here is your 3rd molar, and it's also called the wisdom tooth. Now, the molars and premolars have a larger surface area used to chew and grind food into manageable portions. The canines have 1 cusp and used for tearing food. The incisors, right here, have blade-like crowns, and it's used for cutting foods. Let's talk about the tooth itself. The enamel is the hardest white outer portion of the tooth, mostly comprised of calcium phosphate. It gives you the strength to bite through food. The dentin lies just inside the enamel. It is not as hard as the enamel. It handles and distributes the load to the other parts of the tooth when a hard substance is bitten. The gingiva, right here, that's another word for that, is the gum. The pulp here is soft living structure of the teeth. Blood vessels which provide nutrition and nerves run through the pulp. The cementum is a layer of connective tissue that binds the roots of the teeth firmly to the gums and jawbone. Okay, so this part is the crown, and that's the visible part of the tooth. It goes up to the gingiva, and then this is the root. Now let's talk about the digestive tract. We're going to start at the esophagus. It connects the throat to the stomach. Then we have the upper and lower esophageal sphincters. The muscles of the upper sphincter are under conscious control, used when eating, breathing, belching, and vomiting. They keep food and secretions from going down the windpipe, which is the trachea. The lower esophageal sphincter, when it is closed, it prevents acid and stomach contents from traveling backwards from the stomach. It is not under voluntary control. The pylorus, which is right here, pylorus of the stomach, is the furthest part of the stomach that connects to the duodenum. From there, it goes into the small intestine. There are 3 sections of the small intestine: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The muscles of the small intestine mix food with digestive juices from the pancreas, liver, and intestine and push the mixture forward to help with further digestion. The walls of the small intestine absorb the digested nutrients into the bloodstream. The blood delivers nutrients to the rest of the body. It then goes into the colon, which extracts water and salt from solid waste before they are eliminated from the body. Bacterial flora then ferments any unabsorbed material. So we have the ascending colon, the transverse colon, descending colon, the sigmoid colon. Okay, and then the rectum and the anus. And this right here would be the internal and external anal sphincters. The intestinal villi are small finger-like projections of tissue. They increase the surface area of the small intestine and contain specialized cells that transport substances into the bloodstream. They are essential for the absorption of digested material. So here is a villi right here. Okay. And in the villi, right in here, there are two cell types. You have columnar cells, which are tall, narrow cells that absorb the substances passed into the blood and lymphatic vessels, and goblet cells. These are cells that are rounded at the end, which secrete mucus into the intestinal cavity. And as you can see, you have your capillary bed. This lacteal running down the center is a centrally located lymphatic capillary. And then in the microvilli, there's approximately 600 per columnar cell. This further increases the surface area of each villus. The liver. The liver has 4 lobes. Approximately 1.5 quarts of blood pass through the liver every minute via the hepatic artery and portal vein. Now, the hepatic vein, this carries oxygen-poor blood from the liver to the inferior vena cava. And of course, there's the aorta. The right and left hepatic arteries, right here, bring fresh blood from the heart. The portal vein brings blood from the intestines. Right here, the portal triad of structures. This is the hepatic artery branch, the portal vein branch, and the bile ductules. Right here is the cystic duct, okay? And the right here is the common bile duct. The bile drains into the duodenum from here. There are several functions of the liver. It produces bile, which is needed to digest fats. Bile salts break up fat into smaller pieces so it can be absorbed more easily in the small intestine. It makes proteins and blood clotting factors. It manufactures cholesterol and triglycerides, converts glucose to glycogen and stores it, breaks down medications and drugs such as alcohol. It breaks down insulin and other hormones, stores vitamins and chemicals such as vitamin B12, folic acid, vitamin A for vision, vitamin D for calcium absorption, vitamin K, which helps blood clot properly, and iron to make red cells. The gallbladder. Okay, right here is the pancreatic duct. Okay, the gallbladder stores bile produced by the liver. The liver releases bile into the hepatic duct. If bile is not needed for digestion, it flows into the cystic duct and then into the gallbladder. The gallbladder can store approximately 40 to 70 mils of bile. When bile is needed for digestion after a meal, the gallbladder contracts and releases it into the cystic duct. The pancreas is both an exocrine and an endocrine gland. These acinar cells right here, okay, these are exocrine cells. They're clusters of secretory cells. Secretes an alkaline fluid containing enzymes such as amylase and lipase. Now this pancreatic islet, this is the endocrine function. In here you'll find the islets of Langerhans. The alpha cells secrete glucagon. This increases blood sugar when it's low. It stimulates the liver to release stored glucose into the blood. The beta cells produce insulin. This decreases blood sugar and puts glucose into cells. This exocrine acinus surrounds the pancreatic islet.